What up?
What up?
I just took a big bite of a breakfast sandwich for some reason.
Damn, you shave your head? Hell yeah.
I shaved
What kind of
everything, yep.
Whoa, dude, you look like fucking Woody Harrelson.
I get that a lot. A lot of people say that. I'm one of the only people who has gone bald and looks better. I've just gotten prettier as I age and decay.
Yeah. Nice, good for you.
I'm trying. I just realized this. I was thinking about it, that I might be a superior being.
Mm-hmm.
Just,
Based on the color of your skin?
Well, no. Based on my exquisite physique, there's superior beings of all, races and stuff. Like Chow Yun Fat is a superior being, I think.
Mm-hmm. He can fly and shit.
Yeah, and he's just like everything he does, and as he gets older, you're like, hey, that was way better than the thing before it.
I've only seen Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I think. And did he make a movie with Sean William Scott? Am I remembering that right? I don't think it was after, and I don't think it was better.
No, but he did. He did The Replacement Killers with maybe like Mira Sorvino, I think, and that was really good.
Tight, I'll check that out.
And then he wasn't in, but I always get him mixed up with the guy who was in Inception.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Zach Stein, welcome to the show. This is To Live and Bike in LA. I'm your host, Tanner Savy, and our guest is Zach Stein. Looks like you're in the woods. You said, what, Minnesota?
Michigan.
Okay. How am I coming through? Am I too loud?
No, you're totally good.
All right.
I'm in the suburbs, actually. I just have a lovely backyard here.
Oh, nice. But there's a tree, houses and shit around you.
Yeah.
Is that where you're from?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice house. A lot of windows on that house.
Yeah, you can really, have all your lights off and still have that beautiful daylight just taking you home, letting you see. I don't know. That's what I like about windows.
We had a giant, is that where you grew up? Is that the home you grew up in?
No, this is my brother's house.
Oh.
Which is nice. If I was staying at either of my parents' house, I think I would have already been back in LA.
Is that where they are, though, where you are?
Yeah, my dad lives like half a mile away. My mom was like 12 miles away.
Oh, nice. For some reason, I always thought you were like from Texas or something.
I think I appreciate that. It sounds more rugged. But I don't think that's why you thought that. Just there's just people from Texas. Well, you're from Boston, is that right, or do you just do comedy there?
No, I grew up in Maine, up further north, but that area, New England.
Yeah, for sure. You can get to all of it by train.
Not really, no.
Well, I don't know fucking anything, Hondren.
There's one train that goes from Boston as far north as, like, I think Brunswick, Maine, but it's only on the coast too. It goes through like Portland and then up the coast a little bit. There is so much of rural Maine that, like, you can only drive to, and people don't leave there because it's so, like, there's not even highways. There's one highway through the state, and we lived 30 miles away from the highway. So to even get to the highway to then get up to different parts of the state, we're just like, I got to drive 30 miles just to get to the highway.
This reminds me of you guys sending your uncle out of town on a train. So that was a long drive to that train, huh?
Oh, yeah. They had to drive him to Portland. They brought him to Portland, which was about an hour away.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know if I've told that story on here, but if not, check out Zach's podcast. What is it? Friends Forever?
Forever podcast. There are no new episodes, but all the old episodes are still available.
They're all there. We did a late night one once.
Mm-hmm.
So
is this about? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Ask your questions.
Is it about bicycling? Because that shit scares me so much in the city. Have you been hit by a car?
Only in Maine.
Oh, good.
I learned my lesson in the small city. It's like starting out comedy in a small place. You get hit by a car there, you'll be fine, and you'll learn your lesson, and you will take that to a bigger city and be more vigilant.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah,
Although, yeah, in comedy, it's like you fuck up in the small town, it's not as bad. You fuck up in LA, it feels more drastic. You get hit by a car anywhere, it kind of sucks. The same.
yeah. I was dumb about it too. I could have probably like not worked for life because they were completely in the wrong, and I got a concussion, and I was just like, I'm late for work, and I just walked off.
Yeah, I've done that with accidents too. I've been like, fuck it.
Yeah, no biggie. Sorry, man. Oh man, I had another one too. I should have said everything was hurt. This is in a car, but somebody just on a green light took a left in front of me and smashed right into my front end. It was like this teenage girl whose first time in the big city, which was Portland, Maine, was the big city for her. And I just got, the car out of it. It got totaled, and that all got paid for by her insurance. But I should have cut myself open right there and just been like, ah.
Lesson learned. Now you know what to do. Hurt yourself.
So you don't bike in the city at all? Never have?
Mm-mm. I don't. Yeah, I've only biked at summer camp. Really, I probably haven't. Oh well, no. One time I did acid, and I rode a bike to the beach from Playa Vista. But it was like they have this amazing bike path that goes through like a little island and stuff. It was and there were fish jumping out of the water. It was so cool. Like it was, especially on acid. But like, yeah, I was just focusing on like how hard I could push my feet down. I got like 10 minutes ahead of my buddy.
I do that a lot, not acid and ride bike, but I get really high and go for bike rides just because you do that thing where you're just like focused on pedaling for so long, you forget, you're like, fuck, I went 14 miles.
Nice. Yeah, makes sense. That's it.
Yeah, but you didn't grow up riding bikes?
No, I mean, around the neighborhood and stuff when I was a kid, totally. Yeah, but when I was like 8, I kind of more or less stopped, and then camp had mountain biking, and I hated that, like through like forest trails and shit. The gears kind of the gears I didn't get right away. I'm like, okay, I'm done.
Can you drive a car?
Yeah, that's you put it in drive. I can't drive a stick shift. I can do paddle shift though.
Oh, jeez. That explains it.
Yeah.
You've never driven a stick shift?
I've tried. But not like for too long. I kind of give up on things I don't get like right off the bat a lot of the times. But
you're still doing comedy. Hey.
Yeah. That made me sad. But yeah, that like move into first gear, which was like I guess the toughest one. That was just real tough for me.
It's definitely easier to shift once you're going, but yeah, getting going. But I don't know, it's a thing that like once you pick up the timing, like you don't even think about it.
For sure.
After I drove a lot of stick shifts, and after a while, you're just like your feet work without even thinking about it, and you shift without even thinking about it. Nice. So yeah, you don't bike at all. That's great. We've had a few non-bikers on. We had another guy on the other day, Ahmed Barucha, who doesn't know how to ride a bike.
Oh, did he ever know how, or did he forget?
He said nope, he never did it as a kid. And his friends, when he was like a teenager, got him on a bike one time, and they kind of like held him, and he went for a minute, and then he's like, and then I just didn't want to do it again.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking scary. Because you're not used to balancing like that.
Yeah, but that's another thing too. Yeah, you just don't like once you get it, you don't think about it. And especially for where you live, I do suggest that you think about it, because for where you live, the Comedy Store and the Improv would be easy, leisurely bikes.
I always walk to them.
Well,
I like to walk. I like long walks. And like it's so much easier not to get hit by a car on the sidewalk. I hate people who bike on the sidewalk, motherfuckers.
I do all the time. If it's late night, I will ride on the sidewalk.
I would too, but as someone who doesn't bike, I don't like them. Depends. If I'm driving, I don't like them on the street. If I'm walking, I don't like them on the sidewalk. You guys just can't win.
Yeah. So you are the third person from your household, third and final one to be on the show. And your household, for everybody who doesn't know, you live
Oh,
with
yeah.
Bruce Gray and Kelly Ryan.
Hmm.
And your whole household is very anti-bicyclist.
Oh, good. I didn't know we all had that in common, but it makes me feel even more connected to them.
Yep, anti-bi. That's what you guys are.
Yeah, fucking pick one. I don't believe in bias. I do, but I like them. I know I shouldn't, but I think it's pretty funny when bisexual people complain about mistreatment. It feels silly,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's probably legitimate, and I'm sorry. I'll learn, but at the moment I haven't.
All right. This brings up something good that I've been thinking about. Um, are you okay with people not liking you or being upset at you?
I mean, I kind of I have a bit of a people pleasing streak to me, but I really accepted that like it's better just to kind of be yourself. Because like when people like you when you're like being fake or full of shit and trying to people please, sounds like the people still will. There's still gonna be some people who don't like you, and then the
Yeah.
people who do like you, you're like, well, they wouldn't like me if they knew who I really was, so they kind of don't like you in a way too. Whereas like if yourself, then it's like, oh, you find the people who actually like you, and it's nice. When the other ones don't, then fuck it, you're never gonna like please everybody. So I'm pretty.
Yeah.
I'd like people to like me, and I want to understand why people don't usually, but I fuck it.
I'm coming more to that realization, especially with doing comedy and stuff,
Yeah,
and
especially that there.
and just being like, look, I'm saying things for jokes, and it's not even like, I don't know, but if you know me, like if we actually know each other, you know that I'm a kind, loving person. But I'm not gonna bend what I'm not gonna. I just think of. I thought of this joke the other day. Haven't been able to do it on stage yet, but
Right. There's
yeah,
no stages.
it was. I saw a tweet that somebody said that calling a woman Karen was racist and misogynistic, and I was like, okay, back to cunt it is. And but then like when I
Yeah,
think about that, I go like, oh, would people be mad? Like, would
it's scary.
I'm misog? And I'm like, I don't
It's,
care. I think it's really funny.
yeah. No, it can be scary, especially when you're like looking at all the faces who kind of want to hate you when you're at like open mics and it's just other comics. It's like,
And that's it too. It's open mic. It's other comics.
mm-hmm.
Not if it was, I would say that to just an audience that I'm just gonna walk away from, and I don't care if they get mad. That's the weird thing. But it's like being around these
Yeah,
people that you're gonna have to see again. You're like, that person doesn't like me. Oh well.
yeah, yeah. And I don't. I think I toe the line a lot, and I mean, it's all. I don't fucking matter. I'm of no significance in comedy, really. So maybe that helps. But like, I
Definitely.
don't. People, yeah. Like, I don't ever. I don't, yeah, it's like the people who know me, my friends, seem to know where they come from. And that,
And also, I appreciate that in people. I feel like a lot of people I'm friends with out here are the people that are like try their hardest to just not give a fuck about any of that shit.
yeah. And it's like, and it's not like I'm just don't. I never go for. I'm never like, oh, this is funny because it's shocking or like the whole shock thing. It's like, they're usually like pretty thought out, and I can I don't fucking want to explain my jokes to anybody, but usually I can
Yeah.
to a satisfactory extent to myself. Maybe not to like everyone else, but
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Is like I think it is good in that it really makes you think about what you're gonna say, and really makes you have to like do I really want to say this? Do I really want to say this? And you think about it from each angle, and then but I think you should get to a point of being like, if people are gonna be upset, I don't care. I've thought about it
yeah.
enough that
And the thing is, like all these, I mean, like there's a lot of things like I agree with their ideals, but like all these kind of like systems of belief like end up at this point where they're beyond reproach and shit, and it's like every one of them has some fucked up things about them, and they get like so closed off to criticism. And it's like at the end of the, you're kind of better off just weighing it within yourself to some extent. Like, I mean, definitely listen to people and be open to changing your mind. Like, I fucking was like super hardcore on like fucking hookers rock, and like in theory, I think they do with the, like if you want to sleep with somebody, someone wants to sell it, that's great. But then, I listened and I kind of heard more about like all the sex trafficking stuff. You really don't know the circumstances. They're like being manipulated with drugs. They went in at, or like when they were underage, shit like that. And it's like, I haven't done like 3 years, but for a while I was like, fuck yeah, it's the best. And,
but here's the thing. I agree that it's fine. It's illegal that makes
exactly.
it worse for the women. I think if it was just straight up legal, you would still have plenty of hookers, but they would be in it by choice and not by slavery.
Yeah, and like monthly STD tests, the Johns get tested in those situations and stuff. It's a healthier situation. They're not no pimps, which is they get paid more fairly. It would be just so much better if it was legal.
Yeah,
and I think the practice is a-okay.
Speaking of the thing with Karen, I've never heard John complain about the fact that they are synonymous with hookers and toilets, but they just whatever.
Yeah, just live their life.
And with going missing.
Oh yeah, John Doe.
Yeah.
There's a woman. Yeah. Damn. Those are it's less personally insulting, I guess. I mean because it's more of like a noun than a goddamn like a description of a person. But yeah, I mean, fucking Karen's complaining about being called Karens. That's why you're called a Karen. Like
it's such
like,
a Karen thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, just fucking if you just laugh at yourself, people will stop saying it. If you can just have a goddamn sense of humor about yourself.
I know that's one thing. I think humanity peaked in 1998, because I remember specifically like being in like a very liberal classroom, and the idea was like, no matter who they are, let everybody speak, and then we'll figure out who's crazy by what they say. But it was never like trying to stop. Like that was where liberalism was then, was let everybody speak and the truth will come out by that way. And now it's like, we lost that. The other side's completely gone. I think 98, I think we peaked.
Well, this was a good year. I was 9. Yeah, no 9/11 yet.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe. How old were you in 98? You don't have to say.
I would have been 14, I think.
Hell yeah. That's you were in a better position.
84, 94, I was 10, 98. Yeah, 14. Yeah, that would have been no, it was 9. I turned 14 in December 98, lost my virginity in summer 99.
Nice. Wayne's Brothers was on the air in 98. That was good. Yeah, it was a really good time.
It was a great time in Harrison, Maine then. I think that I don't know what's happened in that town. I feel like the being a child in that town has dramatically changed from what it was when I was growing up there. Like, did you have a downtown area?
Yeah. Like the one, I mean, obviously Detroit's like 10 miles away. Then there's a downtown in the city I'm in, Birmingham, Michigan. Like it's a fairly good sized downtown with like, and it's changed a ton. Like a bunch of people I grew up with opened up like hip, trendy restaurants out here and stuff, and like there's a lot less of that. It was like we all used to hang out at when people would come here. There's the movie theater, and then we'd all hang out at Virgin Records right around the corner. We would just go there.
Nice.
Just hang out on the street corners when we were in 8th grade and stuff.
So you had like the we'll all just go meet up and be hooligans.
Yeah.
Out for the day.
cause trouble and stuff, and then run away when we see police, even though they weren't looking for us.
Yeah, we usually would fuck with we had one cop in our town too. That was the thing. It wasn't even like the police. It was just the
Really? One
guy.
guy. Was he a
Yeah.
sheriff or just was he the police force?
Yeah, he was for a while, just I think now it's a town. Now there's like they assign somebody from the sheriff's department but it's a different person all the time. But no, he was just the police force, the one cop in the town, because he was employed by the town, and then the town ended up, when he retired, they were like, we don't want to pay for a cop anymore, so we'll just use sheriff's department.
Did he have a backup gun, or did the town like have one gun for police?
Gun. I mean, it was pointless to go at a problem with the gun there, because you're like, you're alone in the woods, and they also have a gun, and probably several. So it was definitely much more of handling problems by knowing people and working shit out. But also there, like, the only violence ever was like domestic or occasionally kids would get in fights and stuff, but there's no robberies really or anything. And then if there was a robbery, everybody knew who did it.
Yeah. How many people in the town?
It was about 1,500 when I was a kid.
That's one cop can handle that.
Yeah. And how many of those were children too? There's a comic. Do you know a guy named Will Green?
Yeah.
He lives in that area too. He just moved back there. We started together in Portland, Maine, and now he's back there with another comic from Maine who moved there with him, and they started a food truck. You should try sometime. Cool. I think they're in, I want to say Lansing.
Well, in Lansing, Michigan? Nice. What kind of food?
I think like breakfast sandwiches and grilled sandwiches and stuff.
Nice. Lansing's got a great venue, Max. It's like a kind of like a metal bar, kind of like a rock bar and shit. And then, but they do comedy every Monday typically, not right now. And it was always it was like a pre-sign up open mic. It was so good. It was like
nice. So that's where you started then.
Yeah, Michigan, like Detroit area, and then but you would drive 3 hours away to get and everywhere had audiences and stuff, obviously, because it's not New York, LA, or Chicago. So like the open mics had audiences. The club open mics would have like 50 to 100 people. And that was a good time.
Of just regular people watching.
Yeah, and all the fucking sets were 5 to 10 minutes.
Damn.
Like most were at least 7, even, really.
Yeah. That's definitely true with other places where I started. Was every open mic was 5 minutes, like straight up, and sometimes more if they're like only 3 people signed up, so you guys can do 10 each.
Right.
But we did a lot of driving. But you also had Chicago right there if you wanted to go to check out a real big kind of city.
Chicago's about 4.5 hours, so not bad. Yeah, you can check out Chicago, but Chicago, I mean, I spent like 2 months there, like for work one time, and their open mic scene is, like LA, New York. It's just other comics, and it was. I mean, there was definitely some like really friendly parts. Like there was one where like a guy like cooked a shit ton of amazing food every night for everybody and stuff, but there was also a lot where it was like if you weren't one of the guys, that everyone just kind of looked at their phones the whole time and didn't really pay attention. So it was a little more fun than LA, but Michigan, like, cause Detroit had like a scene, like a full scene, lots of like you can get up multiple times a night. It was
nice. That's how Boston was. Boston is very much it was a great scene, and a lot of even the open mics had just regular people at them because they're all at bars pretty much.
Totally. Yeah.
What was it? Oh, another guy I know from there, Mike Stanley. I think he's in Denver now.
Oh yeah, I know Mike. Mm-hmm.
I met him in Seattle opening for him there. He was a cool guy, but he said he started out of there. How long you been doing stand-up?
I mean, I took like a year off. My first year, I was like once every 2 months and shit. I'd say I've been doing it seriously for about 7 or 8 years, but I started 10 years ago.
Oh, no shit. Nice. Yeah, I'm 9 years this summer.
Yeah.
But I'm, like I said, I'm a superior being, so I didn't, waffle around like you did. I went straight into it really hard.
I wasn't like I mean, I loved stand up, but I didn't like really know the world. I wasn't like a comedy nerd. I kind of just would watch whatever came on Comedy Central, like on the as I so I really kind of thought like I was just doing open mic. And like a few months later, I would end up on Comedy Central. I'm like, I've never heard of these fucking guys. They're not famous. They just put comics on there. And
Yeah.
yeah. And my first mic was fucking. I was in a frat, and all my frat brothers drove like an hour, and like 30 of my frat brothers drove like an hour and a half to the club from Lansing to Livonia, Michigan, and like I, crushed. And so I felt real confident. But then I got humbled quick because a guy out in LA, this guy Matt McClowry, he was so good and so funny and just killed. And I'm like, oh, I have a lot of growing to do. So I always thanked him for that.
Yeah, when you see somebody on Comedy Central and you're like, I've never heard of them, and they're on there doing it, and then you go to an open mic and you see somebody funnier than that person on Comedy Central, and you've also never heard of them, that's when you're like, oh, fuck, there's levels to this and reasons and shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've
So,
known a couple guys and gals that should be a lot more well known and bigger, but I wonder, it's two things. One, lack of them trying, and then two, lack of anybody in industry scenarios wanting that person. Like, especially
yeah.
because they just go by trends of, what's popular, and that's who we'll try and promote up and stuff. But there's one guy who now lives in Key West. Tom Dustin is fucking hilarious. And if anybody wanted, like, on TV or something to be like somebody nobody's ever heard of who's going to blow people's socks off, they would put him on, but nobody fucking cares.
Yeah. It's cool though sometimes when it's like another guy from Michigan, he was out in LA for a while, Dave Landau was so fucking funny. He like got he was on like whatever the fucking stand up comedy contest show was, Last Comic Standing, and
Yeah.
then some other stuff. But like it was more. He went home. He moved to Michigan. He got married, had a kid, and then like he's blown up. He ended up moving out to New York to be second chair on Anthony Cumia's podcast, and
Oh, nice.
yeah, and like he does all that. Does all that like chippers and shit now and everything. And
Oh, yeah.
mean, it's cool to see like those guys finally get what's coming to like what they what's coming to them and shit.
Yeah, it's nice to see white men succeed.
I'm happy to see fucking anyone funny succeed.
No, I have another friend who is a woman who is hilarious, and her name's Emily Ruskowski. If she's in Boston. If you have never heard of her, listeners, check her shit out.
She get mixed up with that super hot chick, Radajowski.
I don't think so. I would love to find out if she's gotten emails or anything intended for her.
Yeah, I'm just fucking videos of guys jacking off pretty much.
Yeah.
But
there's this club there that called the Kowloon, which it's fucking terrible. I mean, it's not terrible. I love the people that come there, but as a place where it is and stuff it's on like this Route 1 section, probably 10 miles outside of Boston, that's just strip mall after strip mall after strip mall. And then there's this giant like supposed to look like I don't know, a Chinese pagoda or something, like giant building. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. And it has comedy in the upstairs. It's a Chinese restaurant downstairs and has comedy upstairs. And the lady there, I was working there for a little bit, and then I got not fired, but just never asked. Oh, I did get a weekend canceled and then never asked back because she said I swore too much.
Oh, yeah. The only club I got booked in out here, they're closed now, but it's because like the booker was like such a like or his name's Bill Bashar. He's a comic. He's great, but he was so into like really like putting comics on and stuff. But it was the crowd where it was like the least on board with me, which was good because I had to like learn to like keep my act where I think it's funny, but like still adjust it to like work like not just for me. I had to like it was, which was really valuable, I think, because
I mean,
audiences
I
are
was,
so different.
yeah, and I was hosting stuff too, but I was doing well. She just,
Mm.
here's the thing. I didn't bow down to her. That was one thing. And like, thank her for the spots. I had been doing it long enough that I was like, knew a little more than some of the other people they have hosts. And the other thing is they have people, whatever lane you come into that club is what you stay at. I was hosting with this guy, Orlando Baxter was featuring, and he features regularly for Joe Coy on the road, and has
Mm-hmm.
had his own Comedy Central specials and headlines all over the world. But because he started as a feature at Kowloon 10 years ago, she will only ever feature him there.
That's
And so just
so
occasionally
weird.
he does it to go like work with a friend of his or something. But I was just there
Yeah.
like, why the fuck is this guy featuring? Like, he's been a headliner for 10 years.
So you just gotta get like lucky enough to have never heard of them until you're a headliner or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, like go in. But they really just, for the most part, it's all these old Boston guys that they
That's
book.
yeah. Michigan was a lot.
This is the Kowloon.
Well, oh
That's what it looks
wow, it
like.
looks like a casino.
Yeah, but it's just
Like
Chinese restaurant downstairs, and then up here in these two parts, the comedy club was over here, or like you can see on this one, the comedy club was on this side in the upstairs, and then this side was just another open banquet room. It was really just a big
yeah,
open banquet room.
that's kind of like Joey's, the place I was talking about that shut down. It was Kickers Entertainment Complex.
Oh,
And big restaurant and dance area in the downstairs, a fancier restaurant also in the downstairs. Oh yeah, it was like a sports bar, a dance area they had, and then upstairs was the comedy club.
oh yeah, yeah. They love doing shoving comedy in with other just random, talentless
Malls.
entertainment.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say about that place is that woman was like, there's no funny women in Boston. I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I would book a woman here. People always ask why I don't book women, but I can't think of one funny woman. I was like, name any woman, name an unfunny one. Who's not funny? And the reason one thing, she had never gone to see other comedy anywhere in Boston. She only has her club that has 2 shows a week, which are, and have a host, feature, and headliner, and that's it. And so I said her, this chick Emily Ruskowski, I was like, she's hilarious, and especially in Boston, and would kill it here. So I'd love to wonder if that piece of advice ever got to her, because I think she quickly did not like me after that, and that's why
That's
I
so
stopped
funny.
wearing there.
These
Yeah,
Texas ass women.
the last show I did there, I got off stage and she came up and she goes, "You say fuck a lot." And I was like, "What?" And like, because they'd never said be clean or anything. If somebody says be
Yeah.
clean, I will, but they had never said that. And then as she said it, this guy from the audience walked past, and he just goes, "Man, you were fucking hilarious."
Right.
I looked at her and I was like, "Man, what are you gonna do?"
Yeah. I'm sure there's good reason for it. I just don't get why adults, like if you're bringing your kids, whatever, I don't get why adults would ever want clean comedy. Like I've never met anyone who talks like that, who doesn't cuss. I've lived in Michigan, Virginia, Florida, Chicago, Los Angeles. I don't meet these people ever.
No,
I don't,
especially at a comedy show.
yeah.
And I've done a couple where they tell you to be clean, but the audience doesn't even know that. They don't
Yeah,
advertise it as
right.
a clean comedy show. And I've done it once and they didn't like it and they got upset. But I just went out and I was like, they told us to be clean. And the entire audience is just like, boo. I was like, I don't think they care, you guys.
Yeah, that's so funny. I get it. I get the thing that they'll say where it's like, especially if the headliners clean, you definitely don't want a dirty opener because it's pretty tough to like go back to like talking about. I don't know. Whenever it's the dumbest thing. Whenever I sit down, I'm gonna write stand up and just think of a topic. My mind always goes to trying to write something about chairs. That's what I think of when I think of clean comedy, jokes about chairs, even though I have no example of that. But I was just about to say jokes about chairs, and I'm like, that makes no fucking sense. But that's where my mind goes.
Somebody who's super clean and hilarious, but also I don't think anybody else could do their comedy is what the fuck is his name? Guy in Nashville there. Come on.
I mean, Brian Regan's the quintessential example. I don't know where he's from.
No, he lives in Vegas. He's got a Southern accent, and he was in New York for a while, and then I think he just moved back to Nashville. God damn it. You don't know any fucking comics. He's got a Southern accent, white guy, a little younger, part of like that Dan Soder crew and Joe List and them. People are screaming out what it is. But anyways, his jokes are just so him that it's not even like he writes clean jokes. He just speaks how his mind is, and it's funny. But like he had one joke about his going to find the dog's medication, and the pill bottle said expired, and I'm going to butcher the joke. But anyways, when you look at it, if you read it out, you go, this isn't a joke at all. I don't see where it's.
It's on the performance. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not even like over the top performing that he does. He just kind of subtly talks the way he talks. And you're like, him realizing things is what's hilarious.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, I didn't mean like as a diminutive. Like, I mean, there's so many stand-ups where they're fucking hilarious, but in writing, you're like, what's funny about that? I mean, that's how they like fucking skewer comics all the time in their bits, is by putting them in print. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's so much more to stand-up comedy than the written word.
Hang on, I'm gonna look up who this is, because this is pissing me off.
All right.
Because when I say it, you're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, right."
Yeah. I do the exercise bike. I don't really bike, but I do the exercise bike.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
And what? Well, okay. One, what type of exercise bike? We talking like Peloton, nice one? Oh, so do you have this
Peloton
screen in front of you too, or are you like taking rides on it?
Yeah, just here. Yeah, my brother's place. But yeah, I like that.
No, but I mean, they have ones that have the little television screen that you like. You take a ride through the Alps, pretty much, and it shows you.
I like the trainer. I like. There's different trainers who have videos there, and I feel like it puts. It's like you got to keep up with the same like resistance, the cadence. You don't have to, but like it pushes you to do it. I think I get a better workout than if I'm just like going free and stuff. And they do the interval shit. It's like this one dude, this Alexander Toussaint guy. It's like Draymond Green loves him. Like all these athletes use him. It's like crazy resistance. Like, so you get a leg workout too. I'm digging it a lot.
Nice. And you see yourself as a Draymond Green type.
Mm-hmm. And on the court, I'm a very big time rebounder and defender. My assisting isn't where I'd like it to be. And
really, you're not a good passer?
No,
Nate Bargatze. That's what I was trying to think of.
Oh, yeah, he's so fucking funny.
But you know what I mean about like his stuff where it's just how he speaks and his cadence and stuff is hilarious, but it's not necessarily set up punch joke. And it's also just clean, but you don't even think of it as clean. You just think of this guy's just talking how he talks.
Yeah. Imagine like reading a transcript of a Rory Scovel set and trying to like you're just repeating just
the one when he just goes, butt fucking? We butt fucking? Who's butt fucking? Butt fucking?
Yeah.
Butt fucking? Anal?
That'd be nuts. It would look like a fucking Charles Manson journal or some shit.
Back to the basketball. I play basketball. We should play when you get back. I was just playing the other day.
I'm not fucking playing basketball or this thing. It seems like the most like fucking COVID-y thing you could do. You're all like breathing heavily and right on top of each other and shit.
If you're playing with other people, yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, I've gone and shot around and stuff.
Yeah.
But
did you ever play? We used to love playing 21 growing up. I'd play that against my brother, and I always would play, and he would always beat me every single time. And
older
I would play.
Brother?
Yeah, I was the youngest.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, my brother was like, and it's pretty common like that. There's like some Jews who are like really sick at basketball, and then like you get to high school and you're like,
Yeah, that
man,
was the
you can't
NBA
keep up.
pre 1965,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. My brother was like sick, like great handles, great shot. I made the fucking seventh grade basketball team as starting point guard just on his reputation, and after like 3 weeks, I was the third string power forward.
Oh,
Dude, I was so weird. I mean, like I had a good tryout, but then like in games, I would fucking airball free throws every time. Like I just like couldn't like free throws especially. I just would fucking like lose any idea of how to shoot and shit.
it
Like
is
with a
one of those
crowd.
things like pitching, like with free throws, where guys who can do stuff great moving around and without thinking about it, once put in a still position, golf swings are the same thing, where it's just like,
Yeah.
how are you a professional athlete, but yet you like is it Shaq or Barkley's golf swing? I
Oh
think
shit.
Barkley's
Oh word. Yeah.
is
I think I'm about
fucking
Shaq's free
terrible.
throws.
Shaq's
Yeah.
free throws, Barkley's, yeah, his golf swing. And then there was like
Yeah.
that guy, a couple pitchers who just straight up lost their pitch, like in the pros, could not throw it over the plate again.
It's nuts. Yeah, that football quarterbacks is another weird one where it's like they'll be the stud in college and stuff, and then can't act in the pros. And like Brady's like was a backup half the time and shit.
Yeah, I
I also
always
get.
wondered what that was. I get the game is slightly different, but when you see like guys who, like a Johnny Manziel or something, where you go like he was a passing quarterback and
Mhm.
stuff even in college, like how come that doesn't, like what is it about the NFL that it
Yeah,
doesn't transition?
a lot of it does seem to be the attitude and the kind of leadership. Like, yeah, I love your fucking Brady bit about the one time he talks politics, but he never talks issues. He always like it's just about football. He takes responsibility for everything. Like he says the right things. He's got his teammates back. He compliments the lineman. Like where Menzel's like all about himself and shit. And I think
And the
that does
weird
it's a weird intangible, but it really does seem to affect the game.
Yeah, and well, I think what a lot of athletes don't understand is it's like your parents and being in school, where if you just get good grades, they won't ask a lot of other questions about what you're doing, and and you can do a lot of stuff. Where like I think Brady just gets like he's like he probably has orgies in Brazil with his wife, and but it just because he doesn't go up there, he purposely seems boring, so he gets left alone a lot of the other time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they can just endure any controversy because they don't like they just stick to the company line and shit. It's
Yeah.
I mean,
Speaking of
it's
which, did you
evil.
see
But
the video of him dragging his daughter off a waterfall?
was that like 2 years ago or like so? Or is this
Oh,
new?
I just saw it, but it might be an older one. But like they both go to
I
jump, and then his daughter holds up, and he jumps and just pulls
Oh
her.
yeah. I remember. No, that was like probably a year or so ago. I remember. Yeah,
Oh,
seeing
okay.
people throw up in arms and other people. Yeah, we're like fucking chill out.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, what I love too is he was for, I don't know if he still is, but he was for Trump. And being in New England, it's pretty much like half and half, where probably people got really mad at him, and then there's also some very red parts of New England. But then he's just like, fuck this, I'm going to where everybody's gonna love me. Tampa Bay, here we go.
yeah, for sure. And Gronk's there now. I'm so excited to see like fucking Brady versus Belichick and shit. That like it's because it's. I consider Belichick like the best coach of all time and Brady the best quarterback of all time. But you really don't know what's moving what. It probably work great together. But I want to see him go head to head. And Cam Newton under Belichick, that'd be fucking
It's gonna
if he
be
can turn him.
he's an interesting one because he's wild cards that have come in before. It's gone. Quite a few of them have you know gotten the Patriot way and stuff, and like been like Randy Moss and shit, where it's just like none of that controversy, none of the stupid things he was doing in other places did he do in New England.
Yeah, and Belichick's gonna protect Cam. He's gonna have him stop like doing the running and stuff, and like because the injuries are getting there now. I think that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because like Brady with a few years with not great offensive lines, but could just get rid of the ball so quick. But he can't
Oh
fucking
yeah,
move at all. And imagine Cam, who can just take a couple juke steps to keep,
totally.
stay in the pocket there. It'll be interesting. It'll also be interesting to see it all happen with no fucking crowd.
Yeah. Who would your I mean, you're a Patriots fan. Do you like,
Yeah.
or you don't like love Brady over the Patriots? Your allegiance is gonna stay with the Pats.
Seen many great players come and go. He's possibly the best of all time, but I loved Paul Pierce, and then he left, and it was like, who again?
Yeah. I love like all the Michigan State players wherever they are. I don't know, especially when like the teams suck. I get like when the teams can't win. Like I was so happy for Verlander to get a championship, a World Series. That guy fucking deserved it.
Yeah, I
And
like seeing that too.
even
We had
though
Ray Bork got like released from the Boston to go to the Avalanche right before the playoffs, so he could win a cup after playing for the Bruins for so many years. And then he brought that cup back to Boston when he got it, and everybody was fucking super psyched for him.
that's awesome. Especially in Detroit, because I feel like the Lions are the fucking worst about it, where we fucking ended Barry Sanders and Calvin Johnson's careers early because they couldn't leave, and like this place sucks. I don't want to be here, and we just the Barry Sanders one makes me so mad.
Yeah, possibly the greatest running back of all time,
I think
and
so.
can't even. Yeah, that I don't know. I forget. Can they? Yeah, guys have gotten away now with requesting trades and stuff in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the going public with it being like, I don't want to be here, like really kind of works out because then it's like everyone knows and shit. Whereas like when it's just kind of internal but Barry Sanders would never have been like making some big announcement on it. He was a really like reserved guy. He has to like act like you've been there before thing about like touchdown celebrations and shit. He would just hand the ball to the ref after.
Yeah. Well, and also it must be, like, hey, I got a touchdown. We're still not going to win. So
yeah, I mean, we won one playoff game with the best running back of all time. It's the only playoff win the Lions have in Super Bowl era. And we had the best.
Really, it's that bad.
That bad. Sanders is fucking, but he was so strange. Like he, in high school, he had the opportunity to break the high school rushing record, and he just opted to sit out because the game was over. And
he didn't want to like run up the score or anything.
Yeah, and then his dad, like no matter what he did, always was like Jim Brown is the greatest running back of all time and shit. His dad was such an asshole. But so it's like I don't know if he would have played like some huge long career anyways. But I think the Lions. I mean, he was in his prime still. He had just rushed for 2,000 yards in a season.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Beast Mode, except that he won his things, but he just, Marshawn Lynch, he came back, tried to come back for that little bit in Oakland. But I think guys are getting to the point too, like that, where they're like, it really fucks up your body, and I have enough money. I want to enjoy this. I don't want to be mumbling and shit with $100 million.
Yeah, and running backs fucking need like their own union because they get so fucked over with the like they'll get their last season or they get franchise tagged and then they're just like we're gonna run you into the fucking ground and we're like they just workhorse them because they don't need them to be healthy the next year.
Yeah,
and then it's like their rookie contracts suck ass and then they can and then they're like all hurt and they can't get a good contract the next year. Running backs get fucked so hard in the NFL.
Yeah, I think that's why Lynch did that too. He's like, all right, I'll go, I'm from Oakland. I'll go try for Oakland this year. And then he played like 2 games and he's like, they're never going anywhere. I'm hurt. Probably the rest of the season. Probably hurt the rest of the season.
Yeah. No, Lynch was the fucking best, man. I loved his shit with the press and just the like, and he was so good. Yeah, when you got the skill, I love like Mavericks and shit like that, like the Bad Boys Pistons teams, which everyone else hates, but we love them here so much.
Oh yeah, a guy that I loved That
I mean, they
I
beat
bet
the
you love
fuck out of
too.
Larry Bird, but then he beat
They
our
did.
asses and that with that steal. God damn that fucking steal. But we won back-to-back ones.
Yes, you did, and by beating up another black man, Michael Jordan.
Mhm.
Um, what was I going to
Yeah.
say?
But it was all
Rasheed
black men
Wallace.
except Bill and Beer. I knew you were gonna say Sheed. Ball don't
Yeah.
lie. Sheed was the best. Sheed was so funny, man.
And I hated him when he was on Detroit, and then I loved him when he was on the Celtics.
For sure. That's oh man, that Pistons team was so good. And then the next year
Him,
we dropped
who was the face mask?
Stein. That was Rip. Okay, Rip
Rip
Hamilton,
Hamilton,
Chauncey Billups, both Wallaces.
Rick Barry.
Um, Rick Barry. Yeah, no, Rick Barry is Bad Boys, right? Or I don't know. Tayshaun Prince was like the sixth man. He had that sick fucking chase down block in the finals.
No, it's the son, Barry's son,
Oh yeah.
played on Detroit too. Right? Wasn't who's the guy? So there's the guy who shot underhand. His son played for Detroit, who shot free throws underhand. I thought it was Rick Barry.
Probably. I believe it. I really got more into like watching sports in college. I was like playing them, but then it was in college I got like way into more into like the history and watching them, but I'm still a little ignorant of shit pre like 2007.
Oh yeah, my
But that was
that
the year
was
we
it.
won we won the championship, and then the next year we had the second pick. You know, when it was like LeBron, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo, and we took Darko Milicic.
Oh,
Like he like the story goes, there was like the owner got wowed because like there's a video of Darko made like a video of him like playing where he was just like dribbling around chairs and shit and shooting. I was like, this guy's amazing. And probably the worst. I mean, people say the Jordan one, but that guy got
Sam
like
Bowie.
hurt. Yeah, Sam Bowie, but that guy got hurt. Darko just sucked.
Same thing with Odom too. Greg Odom and Kevin Durant that year. Portland should have taken Durant, but they didn't need that player. They needed a center, but that guy was just the world's oldest man at fucking 19.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't always like the best available thing. I think you should address the needs you have, but sometimes when someone's so good, it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Rick Barry was the dad, so his son was it John Barry? Yeah, John Barry.
He was on that Pistons team.
Detroit Pistons 2001 to 2003.
Okay. And I always forget. Yeah, it was the champ. We won in 2004.
So which was the year, that would have been the year LeBron was drafted. So he was in that 2004 draft.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah,
or he
yeah.
was in 2003
No, it
draft.
was he was in the 2004 draft. It was the year after because we had the number 2 pick off some trade from before.
Oh yeah. Because I remember I think he's a week older than me or a week younger than me, but like I graduated high school, he graduated high school, and then went to the NBA.
Damn, Lindsey Hunter was still on that fucking team. That's wild.
Speaking of which, we should give a congratulations and toast to Vince Carter. What was it? 22 years he played.
He retired finally. Yeah.
Yeah, he retired this year.
For him, yeah. I remember being shocked to see him still playing. I hadn't known last season. Yeah, he was like top 5 oldest to play.
Yeah, Robert Parrish played till I want to say 44, 45. I went to his retirement game.
Sick. What year was that? Yeah, but yeah, Vince, what a career. And Brent playing really for Toronto, Canada too. That was so huge. He was on the Raptors winning the dunk contest and shit.
Oh yeah, I was like, but they still sucked all those years.
Yeah, but he was so exciting.
He was a guy. I don't think he ever got a championship. That's what's sad.
Yeah, that is.
Because he just never, like, for a while he was the franchise player on not good teams, and then he never teamed up. He never went to a super team.
Yeah, Yeah, that's why people hate like the super team thing, but it's like if what you get drafted to like a team with terrible ownership and will never build around you. Like Michael, like Jordan, that guy sucks. Like at least in that Last Dance documentary, but they fucking got him a team definitely.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they actually made moves
Phil
and shit.
Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
there's definitely
got rid of like succeeding coaches because they're like we can do better and shit. That was like great. That was good ownership.
And there's owners that want to win. There's owners. See, that was a case of a bad team, but they wanted to win because they were in a great sports town. But there are teams that have such hardcore followings and owners who don't care that they're like, I don't have to like. That's why Oakland, I think, has been so bad, is because they're like, people are going to come out to the games no matter what. They're so crazy about them here, so we don't really have to do. It doesn't matter if we win.
Detroit too. Like I mean, before the Tigers ended up getting good because Mike Ilitch was like, "Oh, I've won enough in hockey. Let's fucking try to win in baseball too." But like, I mean, they would do great. They would do pretty good numbers when the team was just mediocre, and they would fucking sucked for a while too. But especially because it's not about the game. It's now it's all about TV numbers. It's not about the ticket sales are not nearly as much as like the whole market share thing with the. It's hard to not make money as a basketball, baseball, or football owner. It's almost impossible not to make serious money now.
Yeah, especially if you can just have your own. I mean, now to streaming, you could be like, we own the rights to stream all our games, pretty much having your own network through computer.
Yeah, fucking Steinbrenner, Yes Network, fucking huge. That like revolutionized all that. Even though I heard it wasn't really him. I think it was like some guy under him who did a lot of that stuff. But,
yeah, definitely. It's rarely, I think only at like tech companies for the most part is the guy at the very top coming up with the innovative idea.
For sure. Yeah.
Top 5 CEOs, go.
Bill Gates. I know all of them have their goddamn controversies. I mean, Bill Gates started COVID apparently.
He didn't start it, but he's gonna end it. God damn it.
Probably Carnegie. I mean, just for fucking originating and being like, fucking do charity so you can get away with all this other shit.
Yeah. He did set a good precedence of look the Brady method. Look good on the outside so you can be evil on the inside.
Totally.
Because Rockefeller didn't do that. Rockefeller was like, I'm evil and I'm evil.
Yeah, I have a big fucking evil bulbous nose and shit too. He just personified it. I mean, Steinbrenner for real. I mean, he bought the team for like $1 million.
Yeah.
It's like worth billions of dollars now.
Did quite. Yeah, that's the thing with like a Mark Cuban. I don't really think he's been that great.
No, he's good at advertising himself and making him and having himself be in the thing, which is probably good for continuing to make money. There's different ways to do it. You don't necessarily need to be competent, I guess. He did get a championship though, which is, I mean, I guess Dirk's probably deserves a lot of the credit for that, maybe more than Mark, but
for sure. And who else was on that team?
Tony Parker? No, that's Spurs. I get the Texas teams mixed up.
Yeah, I forget who was there that year. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like that. It's so funny that guy is like, I'm the man, because you're like, it's only the money. Everything else about you is mediocre white guy at best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like uncool people. I only hang out with cool people.
Hell yeah, that's why we don't hang out except on Zoom.
You're goddamn right, and don't you fucking forget it.
I know I'm not cool, but it's okay.
Well, one thing I've realized about coolness is trying is not cool. Yeah. Anybody who looks like they're trying to be cool, you just smell it right away. All right. We have, like I said before, there are some videos that I like to show everybody. Just get your reaction on.
It's going to be fucking like cringy, gross stuff. I hate that shit, but I'll do it.
You know,
And I could
not
see someone's bone sticking through their fucking skin.
no. You will not see any graphic content, but they are a bit of, you know, fail videos at
Okay.
but at the highest level.
Mhm.
So
I saw one on. It's like a 3-year-old video, but on um.
I don't want to do it that
Pardon
big.
the interruption. Highly questionable. Highly questionable is this Indian like Iron Man dude where he wants to break all these records, and it's just like his buddy just hitting him in the fucking nuts with a sledgehammer repeatedly, and he just unfazed, doesn't even
Ooh.
react. It was amazing. But it was like because of his unfazedness, so none of it was like made you fucking cringe or anything.
Yeah. Yeah, that those I mean I always find it funny to watch, but I like I like people purposefully going for it and failing. I don't
Yeah,
like when unwitting people get hurt, but I love watching people who are trying and then they don't succeed.
absolutely broken
Um
ankles.
Here, I got to fix my headphones for just a second. I'm going to lose you just a second.
What the fuck is going on?
Let's see if that fixed it. Oh, that one's low on battery too. That's why. Are you there?
Yep,
Yeah, I can hear you
I
now.
can hear you.
8% on the left. Okay.
Ooh.
These AirPods, I just got them during the COVID times, and they are really good. I like them and stuff, but every once in a while, weird things happen where like the audio gets off in either ear, so it's like there's a little mini echo or some shit.
Yeah, that happened with them before, but overall, just delightful.
Yeah, they work pretty well. All right, here we go.
Okay, I'm fucking jeez. Oh. See, snow just doesn't. That one doesn't look as brutal. It's snow, but yeah, that definitely was.
All right, we can mute the audio for the second. They show a few more shots of it here, but that's what I find the comical about this video is a very brutal fall. But then the screaming and the other guy, his hype man, as another guest described it, screaming his ankles are broken.
Oh, I didn't. I see. I don't think the audio is coming through here. I just hear you. I don't hear the.
Oh no, I
I didn't
just
hear
turned
any
the
of the
audio
screaming.
off. I think you talked over it for a minute. We'll show you again.
My bad.
Can you hear it now?
No. Oh, maybe. No.
Oh, you can't hear that? Oh, that's weird. Are you on a computer?
I sure am.
Why don't you just look up this video? Just put in Tanner Hall broken ankles, and that way you can see, because you really got to get the
Okay.
next one. You don't, but that's what makes this whole video comical is the brutal crash and then what happens to him. Here, I'll stop sharing for a minute.
All right. I am on it.
I'll just edit this out real quick, or maybe I won't. Usually, I forget to touch it at all.
I you, I got broken ankles. Yeah, you definitely need the yelling. Nice. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, so that type of thing I find funny. Where
what a difference. You really need that.
Yeah, it seems kind of psychopath just to laugh at that with no audio.
Yeah, and it's just kind of dull. There's much better videos of people getting fucked up, of like more zoomed in and shit. And then
Yeah.
with the screaming, that's a whole nother game.
All right. Well, and I bet you'll see when you look that up as one of the other things is they copied that, or not copied it, but parodied that in It's Always Sunny.
Oh, nice. I've seen all the episodes, but there's so many.
It was the one where
the skiing one where you had Dennis and like Frank's gonna buy the thing. That was fun.
Yeah, and he falls in the race and goes, "Ah, my ankles are broken."
Nice. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, nice. It's fun to know where things come from later on.
Well, what was amazing about that is growing up as a skier and loving skiing growing up, and I mean I competed all the way until I was like 19, 20. That episode of It's Always Sunny, every single thing in it is a reference to a ski film.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah, like
I've seen a few. Yeah. Do you like? I love the South Park Aspen episode too.
Oh yeah. People say that all the time when you say you ski or something. They're like Pichu and French fry. Like, yeah, you saw South Park. All right.
Dude, real quick though with the skiing, my buddy, like one of my best friends lives in Utah, and just this whole quarantine thing, like when they were like really quarantined, he would just hike up a mountain and then ski down it every day. That's like how he'd spend each day.
Yeah, I got a few friends there that have been doing that, and there's still spots now where they're hiking up really high and finding snow.
Nice.
And they did. My friend Troy, who's been on the podcast, he was an Olympic skier. He does is surfing on like, it's like powder surfing, but it's like these kind of wooden boards that are a little bigger than a skateboard, but kind of shaped like a surfboard, snowboard type thing, but no bindings or anything. You just stand on it, and in powder, it's almost like just surfing down water.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
He hits that. He's got his back up.
Here's this one. You can hear this one? Okay. You don't really need to hear this because this is more a visual thing why it's funny.
Hey.
Oh my God. Oh man, that was the heaviest.
So that's so high.
Yeah. Now we need to see the replay to see what really happened here.
In the business.
That first move is so tight.
Right here.
Yeah, he nails it 720, but then he just gets thrown off.
Trying to get his board back, and there it goes.
Oh, you saw his board go squarely up the wall.
He's 15 feet up, and he just fell. Another
shoes go flying off.
Man, that was
his shoes
25 feet down.
Did you see that? Watch when he hits. They shoot off like there's firecrackers.
That's the worst spot he could have felt those wobbles.
Look at this. He turns his body and he says, "I'm all right," and takes it. His shoes. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's the.
I fucking hate your podcast.
That one's too graphic for you. That's too up close.
Yeah, because it's that snow doesn't look fucking bad. Hard fucking he fell from so high.
Well, he did get up and walk away. His ankles were not broken.
Yeah. No, skaters put up with so much goddamn pain. I'm sure skiing and snowboard is the same, but it's like the same way I'm afraid of roller coasters, but not afraid of water rides, because water doesn't seem scary, even though more people get hurt and die on water rides.
And it's the same carny putting the ride together.
Totally. But I just feel like smashing into water, even though it's supposed to be like smashing into concrete, is less scary than smashing into concrete.
No, water's a lot easier. People say that, but here's the thing. That first hit might be, feel like concrete, but then it's immediately water. Where concrete just like you could hit your head twice. You can't hit your head twice with water.
Yeah, but also with concrete, you break your bones and then you can't drown.
Yeah, but that's also if you don't know how to swim. I think the best place, because I mean, if you
break your arms and legs.
Yeah, you can just float.
Impact. Oh, yeah.
And I'd rather be floating in a lake and get picked up by somebody than just be on concrete. I don't know. It's a real tough decision. Yeah, where would you rather be? But I feel like floating in water, at least it takes away the gravity of what might be broken.
Totally. Yeah, I love being in a bath.
Yeah, I hate baths, but hot tub is fine. It's probably the same cesspool. I just find baths, it's too small a body of water.
Yeah, I just like chilling, relaxing, listening to an album or something. I was in the bath. I'll soak for like an hour.
That's so weird.
Hey. Less people like it, more baths for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that checks out. I wanted to see if you want to talk some shop about the LA comedy scene, and if you've heard about what has happened with Bert's Back Room, and and how you feel about it, and also the new owner, and will that place burn down and kill 7 open micers?
Probably. I loved it just because it was just like the least important fucking shit of all time.
It
like,
doesn't
the least
matter.
important drama, but it's still so spicy.
Funny. It's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I think I think Rachel got fucked over. Probably. I don't know the full story, but
I think it was probably. Yeah, based on her post, I think it was probably it's a scummy landlord that didn't really give a fuck and would just give it to anybody.
Yeah, but you can just fucking do that somewhere else. It's not exactly. I mean, I bet she had better rent there than most places, but it's not exactly a high cost business to run or whatever. And it's not like she got fucked out of money. She doesn't have to pay any of that. She's not paying rent now or whatever. Yeah. She can just open up somewhere else.
Yeah, especially in a couple months here, there's going to be a lot of places to either bars that would be like anything that'll bring people in, or just empty spaces that have gone out. And people, I think commercial real estate, especially for just like renting a business spot, is going to like go way down in price because so many are going to close. And then the people that own the building are going to be desperate to fill all these spots.
Yeah, that's what I do. Like home real estate isn't at all. Like I just, because like a lot of the people who can work from home are spending way less money. So like home buying is going up. Like from what I've heard, like under 750,000, which isn't really LA. But commercial probably the places are shutting down, and it's some other shit of after like a tragedy, most places, like 40% of places don't open up like right away, and then a lot of them close within a year. It's real hard on a business. So we will see.
It's going to be interesting to see what turns around here, and if like where the Sycamore is, that whole area is just becoming overrun with tents and stuff. And you go like, that's a block down from Hollywood and Highland.
That's right where I live, basically. I'm at Fountain and Orange. I mean, it's always that road's always been kind of crazy.
Kind of, yes, but like all up and down La Brea now has gotten, just in the past couple months, has gotten even more.
Yeah. If you want to hear about what a great guy I am, one time I was leaving Sycamore, I was driving, I see a guy just heroined out with his legs in the street.
And you hit him?
I'm like, hey, get your legs out of the street. He didn't, and I got out of my car and put his legs on the sidewalk because I'm a hero. That's what that means.
I mean, you could try and help somebody who actually has a chance, or you could just go move bodies in the street.
Yeah.
What if the guy was dead and you're like, there you go, legs out of the street?
Yeah, it's a fucking bummer down there.
Yeah, I would volunteer more if it were easier to volunteer. I feel like it's just finding, here's what I would do. I'll teach a kid how to skateboard. I will not go through any of the how to get involved with that organization that teaches kids how to skateboard. But if I could just go online and go, now that's where it gets weird. If I could just go online and find a kid.
Goddamn, that would solve so many people's problems. But dirty pedophiles. I'm sorry, I never believe conspiracy shit really, and I'm pretty sold on this whole Epstein conspiracy. I mean, a lot of dead bodies, but that
judge now too.
Yeah, and then the guy kills himself. So it's a lot of coincidences that involve death.
I think it's gonna
work. If I knew shit, I would shut the fuck up right about now.
Yeah, but I think it's going to lead to a lot of people stop paying their taxes.
And then
just because they're like, if nobody's following the rules, like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah, but that's a good way to land in jail. A lot of people have tried to not pay their taxes before. I mean, I guess they can't put everyone in jail.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's kind of an odd leap. That leap never, people are fucking kids and killing people. I'm going to stop paying taxes.
It was an easy leap for me to make. I went straight there.
I paved roads and shit. but
well, that's state taxes. You can pay your state taxes, but not pay federal.
Interesting.
Yeah. I would go even more so. I will give my federal income tax to the state.
I'd be on board with that, but I don't want to go to prison.
I think you do. I think you're lying to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, my actions wouldn't dictate it with all the felonious activity I do. But no, prison scares me. I feel like I'd get bad. I don't know. I feel bad things would happen to me.
Yeah.
If I ever knew I was going, I would just do crazy martial arts training. I don't know if it would help, but I wouldn't try to start shit. But I would want to, have some capacity and just work out like a fucking maniac leading up to it.
Yeah.
But steroids. I'd take steroids. But just whatever I could do to make myself a little more. I feel like I started to look more like a man than a child, and recently, which is nice. Maybe because I read as a fucking mark. People try to con me all the time. And sometimes, a lot of times, I get intrigued by it. I'm like, let's see what their whole plan is, and then I'll go with it until they want money, and I'm like that, and then that pisses people off. But
do you like stringing people along though?
I just want to see what the whole plan is. And if I say no here, then what's the next one? Then how are they gonna try to remove me from my money? It's interesting because I don't know, just a little more interesting than what most people's way to try to remove from your money with weird ass sales techniques and shit.
How are you with people yelling at you on the street? Like, hey buddy, will you turn your head? Or
they got me twice. The Save the Children and the Refugee Fund. That's both of them got me on that method.
Dude, those clipboard people, I am just straight ahead like they don't exist.
Yeah.
They might as well be heroin legs in the street to me.
I usually am too. I'm like, no, and then sometimes they're like, do you have a minute? I'm like, why am I saying yes? But I do have a minute. I'm not really doing anything right now. And then they talk. I'm like, that is pretty fucked up. And
I walked past a guy the other day in Echo Park. They were by the farmer's market. And as I walked past the guy, he just looks at me. He goes, do you want the spiel? I go, no. And he goes, all right.
Yeah. I love it when it's Scientology, because then you can just guilt people like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. And you can't really do that to the Save the Children people.
I had a friend, Mormons came to his house, and he invited them in and kept them there so long that eventually they were like, well, we gotta go.
Hell yeah, dude.
Because he just kept asking questions. They were like, have you heard of this? And he's like, no, tell me. And they start telling him. He's like, tell me more.
I went pretty far into the Scientology interview just to see what they see what their pitch would be, and then eventually they were just trying to remove me from the money. And then I'm like, I got a phone call, and they're like, wait, but first just sign this thing. And I'm like, oh no, my mom's in the hospital, and they're like, okay, but first, they were just fucking, yeah.
I remember hearing some comics say they went to go, and they're like, let's just go in and see. And I
did an open mic there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a mixed open mic, but they have incredible sound equipment, because a lot of them were musical acts, and they had amazing equipment, lighting, all this shit. But it's all Scientologists and stuff. And then me and Bruce and Tyler Geezer just kind of started wandering around where we weren't exactly supposed to, got a little bit of the tour, and then they were both doing oh yeah, well what about this? And I'm like, fucking shut up. I'm gonna pretend to be into it and see where this goes.
Just see. Oh yeah, yeah. Don't tip your hand right when you get in there.
Yeah. Ari Manis and Abby Roberge are real deep. They're on some like fucking Scientology literature pamphlets, like on pictures and stuff. So they were like in it for like 3 months fucking around.
Poof. At a certain
That's
point.
another one you can listen to on Friends Forever podcast.
Okay. Check that out. But at a certain point, you got to be like, "Hey, man, I think you're just a Scientologist."
Yeah.
Like,
No,
10 years in,
about,
man. 10 years in, and it's just it's a joke.
Yeah, right. Dude, like, kill. Yeah.
Anyways,
like
I gotta
that,
go. I got study time, and no, I was saying that was that.
I think, yeah. Yeah, no, it's like that Adam Sandler, What the Hell Happened to Me, like the joining the call. And
Yeah.
he's like, I'm just here to like, there's a girl I want to fuck. And then like the dude's like, you know, he's like, you're not mad they made you kill your father, right? And he's like, you know, it's like they said, it was his time to go.
All right, I have taken up enough of your time. This is a good one. We're usually about an hour. We've gone about an hour and a half.
Yeah, this is fun. I have the sports talk, man. It's so hard to find sports talk in LA, especially I was working in salons for so long, and like in comics for the most part don't know shit about sports. I got so used to just fucking forcing talk. I'm being like, just listen to what I have to say for 5 minutes, and then like we can talk about whatever. I just need to talk to someone about the fucking football, and so that was fun.
Yeah. This has probably been. I had one with this other guy, Dan Bolger, comic out of Boston. Another one of those fucking hilarious people that I tell him he needs to get out of Boston. But we went deep on basketball. He's a big Celtics fan as well.
Hell yeah.
But thanks for doing this. And you got a time when you're getting back here, or are you indefinite when you're coming back?
Early September, I got another we got like a 4-day backpacking trip planned in early September, and July and August are fucking miserable there. So I think probably there unless I'm doing like a little PI shit, and if I get enough of that for a law firm, if I get enough of that built up, then I'll come earlier. But otherwise, chilling here, enjoying it.
All right. And I do suggest that if you have a stakeout, we do a podcast on during the stakeout. I'll go with you, and we'll podcast the stakeout.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Talk to you later, buddy.
Deal. Yeah. Talk to you later. Thanks.